All right, there we go. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the Den. If you're not familiar with the Den is the best conversation on the internet. Thank you for being here. I'm your host, Ed Honcho. And it is an honor. It is a privilege. But more than anything, it is my pleasure to get to be here with you guys tonight to chop it up. Y'all gotta forgive me. I'm tired. It's just a baby. I may not be the most energetic this evening. I'm giving y'all a fair warning, but I'm glad you're here. It's Friday, and Friday. Well, I guess I've been doing it in the sauce. I've been doing it in the den as much, but fucking Friday. I gotta get that rolling in the den. But again, like I said, I want to talk about the year 2020. We've been having some more serious conversations and things like that lately. And I mean, the whole year has been terrible, but let's just talk about it. I want to talk about how 2020 has been treating you personally this year, because I think we've all gone through a lot, and like I said, we'll get into that a little bit more so in just a second. Let me fix it. Y'all can look at you. I lied because I told Bad Bougie I was going. She said she didn't like the little TV, so I said I was going to switch it back, and I didn't. But I pretty much hadn't been. What the fuck? Nah, no shit. Ass clown. The wrong fucking thing. So I hadn't really messed with anything since I got off yesterday for the most part. Like I said, I just jumped on the sauce today and then I got on here. So I didn't change anything. I didn't update anything. So I apologize, Bad Bougie, wherever you may be. So, yeah, so you ain't lying up. Yeah, I use all the juice. So we talking crazy in the sauce today about all the ridiculous stuff. Let's see what we got joining us, man, and let's have a good show. I may not have all the juice, but let's have a good show. And honestly, we'll see. I'm gonna see how fucking tired I am, man. Make sure crew needs some love. I know we get down in the Discord after or whatever. Make sure crew needs some love. I might get on, might fuck around and play some Streets of Rage 4 or something. We just talk some shit, old school mixer style. So it's been a minute. We'll see. All right, so we got doing this. Make sure you're in the live chat, not the top chat. The top chat, the soda's flat. Cultured, the Don of the Discord. Like they say, if you're not first, you're last. Shout out to Mr. Culture. Miss K. Grace, the Lady Grace, how are you this evening? Ma'am, I hope all is well. Miss Bell, the Bell has wrong. Just Sarah, the lovely Just Sarah. Honcho, well, I guess, what would you say? How would you call Sarah the Sunshine? That's Sunshine? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But shout out to Just Sarah, the love of Just Sarah. Sweetberry's here. D the Gamma, what's the motherfucking deal? Hi. Terrible. And I technically wasn't late, but I was late. I'll talk about that later. Let's see. 335, what's the motherfucking deal?
I almost overslept like Honcho, the main Sancho sleeping.
Hey, we sometimes, it just be like that, Miss Just Sarah. Thank you for the love. Rob Myers, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. If I missed you, I ain't did you. Let's get into some conversation, right? I feel like I'm in bizarre world. I've been saying it in the sauce earlier. And I'm going to say it now. I feel like I'm in bizarre world. I feel like I'm in a world where symbolism means more than real results. To act like you're doing something is almost better than really doing something. Y'all know, if you've been around here long enough, we talk about so much shit. Y'all probably have at least 75-80% of I forgot about it. Y'all have like a 70-80%. Look, that's how y'all know I ain't been fucking with shit. I just did this damn Kente hat shit that's been on here for like 2 or 3 days. But I got you, Rob, man. I got you. And let's find something else more entertaining. What kind of nonsense do I have on? I can put in the background here. We can can talk about? A bunch of terrible pictures of J.J. Watt. We'll figure out something. I'll just put the moon and the stars back there right now. But anyway, so I feel like I live in this world now where nothing makes any sense, right? And we've been talking about black issues forever, regardless of what side of the aisle you stand on, or even if you're not in the building to be on aisle. But like all of a sudden, this movement that's been around for years, and just all of a sudden it's gained this fucking momentum of craziness. And like I say, I talk to folks throughout my day. I talk to some of y'all throughout my day. Sometimes we chop it up, about various things. Some of y'all have, my main line. Some of us that we've had, consistent enough conversations through other platforms. A couple of y'all have my main line. And that's how we talk about stuff. And even with other people I speak on that, I ain't gonna lie, Trill come in with that bullshit, talking about whole ass Honcho all the time, right? It's always Honcho. But I feel kind of hoe acid. Right? Because here's the thing that I do a lot. I don't want to call it second guessing myself, but I try to make sure that I feel like I was as fair with someone as I possibly can be. And it was funny too, because there was a situation a couple of days ago. I may get into it one day down the line, but and y'all will be surprised, right? I got into it with somebody. Got me heated, but then I only heated for a second because the shit they was talking was so fucking stupid. But it's just like, even then, even though apparently they had built up some type of whatever towards me, and you would never know. I really didn't speak that much. I've known them, familiar with them, but cordial. And then, like I say, it was a situation, and then the person just blows, all this stuff comes out, right? So obviously you've been sitting on these feelings for a while. If I got feelings about you, I'm gonna let you know. Most of the time, I'm generally pretty even keeled, so it's like a lot of things don't catch my attention so much that I'm gonna get mad about it, or so I don't care. Like if I'm not saying something to you or whatever, it's not because I'm rude or I don't like you. If I don't like you, I'm going to make you know that I don't like you. And I'm going to do things to make sure you understand that I don't like you. And probably going to provoke you, to put yourself in a bad situation if I really don't like you. But it's not that. But anyway, like I said, this, and this, a bunch of crazy stuff, right? And I'm just laughing because, then something ended up happening to him shortly after that. And I caught myself that's real unfortunate for them, man. And I'm like, hey, why do I even feel halfway bad for this person? Because, not that long ago, they tried to, fault me for some shit they did, throw me under the bus for some shit that happened with them, and, just crazy. And then started, trying to go off. And so, it's super funny. Because, like I say, it's funny how karma works. But, I say all of that to say that, even when you're minding your own business, people will, you just never know what people are really thinking, right? So, Frost was the motherfucking deal. No, that's, you said that had nothing to do with you, Big M. That was definitely not that. Well, the situation I'm talking about is completely different. Some physical reality shit. Anyway, like I say, it ends up person getting all mad and thinking they want to get active. But reality check set in real quick. But anyway, just this whole 2020. And I guess that incident being part of it too. Because like I say, people hit you from the blind side. You just with shit, the avalanche of shit. But generally it's them holding on to shit that they have whatever issues with. 2020. When did 2020 really start, getting bad? Right? It was the beginning of the year. It was just like, what the fuck? It's 2020. It's going to be, new year, new me. It's going to be my year. It's going to be all this other good stuff. And it seemed like everything was normal up until the point I had to take my little vacation. And yeah, of course, in there, nothing seems normal. You're disconnected from everything, right? You're disconnected from everything. You don't really know what's going on. People give you information. People coming in, and these niggas is niggas in jail, so you can't rely on their fucking information. Anyway, like I remember when I first heard about it, when Kobe died, the nigga told me this shit. I was like, shut the fuck up, nigga. You lying. You're a liar. Lie a lot. You can tell a bunch of fictitious stories all around the book. You're a liar. Tell Kobe ain't dead. And that happened. It was just like, wow. Then you got the fucking, the corona shit. Like I said, all this shit was happening while I was locked up. So, you seem like you're not a part of society. And then at that time, I'm dealing with my own personal situation, figuring out what's the outcome of this thing gonna be. So like 2020 for me, kind of, I don't want to say the momentum was negative or anything. Cause like I said, I already knew I had a little situation I was gonna have to handle. So mentally, I already knew that was coming up. So it's just 2020, knowing I had some decisions to make, just start off kind of like, Then I go in and go handle my business. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go take care of that, and things will be a lot better once that's over with, right? Fine, yeah, if I can get out, and everything's good for about a week, and then the fucking corona comes, shut everything down. After the Rona, you have this Floyd situation. You had some murder bees somewhere in between. You had a couple other things happen, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some things. But it's just been time and time again. You had like a bad series of tornadoes come through kind of middle America. You had, I think you had a real bad earthquake, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere. You just had like shit happening. Fucking forests on fire. Like, around the world, just crazy shit happening, right? And so, going all the way back, just because I meant to get back to the point that I was making before I talked about getting into it with somebody else. And that's about the whole ass Honcho shit, right? And the thing that I was getting to where I say I feel like a whole ass nigga, because I double check and I double think everything, right? Is I've really been thinking about this Floyd thing, right? And fuck, they say, you'll get certain things you're not supposed to. I make light of everything. I make everything you can laugh at everything. Laugh at my pain, whatever the Kemah shit was. Like, everything is funny. And I think, I laugh a lot more to keep from being mad and upset about shit. So I think she laugh at everything. But I'm looking at this Floyd situation, and I'm just like to myself, it's crazy to me. Because again, like I say, they just basically politicized this man's death, right? And it was fucked up what happened. But then, like I said, I mentioned this the other day, like, see people drawing these murals of shit with him and Malcolm X and MLK and, just putting them in this category with black leaders who actively dedicated their lives to the civil rights movement. This man was in an unfortunate situation and had his life taken from him, right? And became like the piece that changed everything, right? And it's like, because something's happening. Something's happening, right? And again, y'all know I'm not BLM and all this other weird shit, but you cannot deny that something is happening. How genuine is it? I don't fucking know. And that's kind of part of the problem. Because is it another flash in the pan thing? You see the NFL, we're going to, over the next 10 years, we're going to donate $250 million to the black issues. You see the students at the UT football players basically saying "fuck the Eyes of Texas" song and a lot of the shit behind it, and that's a funny thing because I learned some stuff about that. We'll get into that. But you're seeing like shit happen. Not in the sense we overcame. We said we shall overcome. We're here now. No, but in the sense, even these little nitpicky shits that are happening, even little stupid fucking acknowledgments that are happening, because these are things that didn't happen with other situations. And so you're seeing tens of thousands of people marching all over the world, not just Houston, not just America. Like I said, I saw a mural of Floyd painted in Syria. There's more serious stuff going on in Syria that they have to deal with, but they found time to fucking
You'll only think you're in a Hawaii now. Why, I'll known this for a while now. Tears of joy rolling on the floor, laughing.
I always think I'm a whole ass for whatever on this world. That's fine. As long as y'all know, well, good. God damn it. And so part of me is like, this is a dead man. If things are improving, was it worth it? Right? It's not like you had a choice. So if things are, and I don't want to call them, ain't shit changed for me, but if the issues people have an issue with, right, are getting looked at, if they're getting acknowledged, then are those people making, is it worthwhile? I mean, are they accomplishing something? Whether you agree with them or not. Are you talking about their issue? Are you discussing their issue? Or is it getting traction? Yes, all of these things are happening. So, I guess it turned into something. But to me, it was like, I don't know. I guess I feel some type of way. I just look at everything around and it's just like, man, they use this man's life as like this political piece. But it didn't work. Your daughter's probably gonna be good forever, right? You know what I'm saying? Probably gonna be good forever. They are trying to make her famous and have people follow on Instagram and stuff, whatever. And I saw the church, her and the thing talking about, my dad changed the world. But did he really change the world, or did his death change the world? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think that's separate. I think these are two separate issues. But, like I say, that's what I said. I think I'm like, man, this man got treated like, he got the funerals of kings, basically. Like, that was a very nice presentation, if you will. You know what I mean? We're talking about like I said, the fucking horse-drawn fucking hearse thing, the fucking like I said, yeah, with like 3 funeral gold cat, like just a lot of wild stuff, right? And then it's just, what really happened? Like, what really happened? And why all this momentum all of a sudden? Again, so something's happening, something different's happening. I'm saying all that to say that I don't know, I'm conflicted about how this shit is presented. And again, honestly, I look at the issue differently and may not even agree with a lot of what's going on. But like I said, I'm trying to just look at objective, like if we're talking about accomplishing goals, whether I support it or not. Like, there are people who are behind this movement, they're trying to accomplish something, so are they getting that accomplished? There was something else I wanted to speak on, and then I'm going to open up the line. Like I said, I just want to talk about today about how 2020 has been treating you. A lot of people have just been like, it's a crazy year. I think we've suffered collectively, like I said, with the weird things that have happened. We've seen the economy in flux. Oh, you had the impeachment shit going on. You know what I mean? You had, like, it was just so much crazy shit this year that, like, none of it made any sense. Yes, they got me. They got me in this little box. So, So that's my thing, right? Yeah, that's what I was like. No, that's no, Heidi. Half the money isn't going this funeral. Floyd Mayweather already covered that. Yeah, we know where the rest of the money's going. So again, and that's the issue I had too. And I spoke on that in Sauce. Like, look, man, find out who's doing some direct action, and then fuck with what they got going. If that's what you believe in, and that's what you find out who's doing direct. Oh, stop giving these fucking huge organizations, and they ain't fucking all your money's going to people's salaries. Nobody ever sees the shit. You can fucking donate $10 million and $100,000 goes to the people that needs to help, and everybody else has their hand in the fucking pot, But we want to talk about charities and 501 all its structures and shit like that. That's a whole other fucking conversation. But it's one that does that need to be had. That is very strange there. I don't know what's going on. That is odd follow. So I feel like there's something else I'm supposed to be speaking on in relation to 2020. Have you seen the Super Carrie? I've been floating around. She like 2 for 2 last couple of days. Fucking yelling at the lady stretching on the steps, and then she did like a shitty parking job, and then she fucking like attacked it. That would actually, like, she should go viral. Like, that should be like a stick, you know what I'm saying? Like, it should be like her thing, like angry Karen, and she's just like super Karen troll people, and people think she's super serious, and she'll go viral like every fucking day, and it'd be huge. Anyway, give me a second, man. Let me get the line in order. I know I've been saying it and haven't been enforcing. We're gonna get strict on the 10-minute rule because again, people and other folks end up getting fucked off and end up waiting on the lines and things like that. And then there'll be some more changes and things. It's just a lot going on. I apologize. I'm kind of here and there. Like I said, I'm a little tired, but we're gonna get this thing knocked out. And how does that work? Okay. We're getting ideas and shit. Let me do this. That's exactly what I don't want to do. But yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna be on it. That's on me. And as far as enforcing the 10-minute rule, and then like I said, just depending on the juice I feel when we get out of here, may have a little bit of mixture crew tonight. I don't know. Big fella. Have I fallen asleep on y'all on mixer? I'm not probably done it everywhere else. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep in the cushion in consecutive days. I've had a day or so where I'm tired. I probably knocked out for a second or two. I don't know if I've ever fallen asleep on people on the mixer. So we'll see. Marie Lovely, what's the motherfucking deal? Beth Otis or Mr. Keith, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. All right. So, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening? Okay. Well, what's on your mind, Miss Bill? How has 2020 been treating you? All right, what you got? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the big projection screen TVs. Okay. Well, like I said, I was supposed to change it today because yes, Miss Bougie was not keen on it yesterday, but like I said, I got to handle the dead and stuff a little bit late, so I forgot to change it. And I did it. Yeah.
Is it the medical care for transgender?
So
They started up in Obamacare. They're, I guess, whatchamacallit, Trump decided that they're not going to do it anymore, and they're removing that bill.
So I gotta share something with you, Ms. Bell.
Yeah.
As I answered your phone call, I forgot to click another button, and that's the button in correlation to the volume. So everything prior to the training medical care, the rest of the info didn't get a chance to hear.
Sicker than your average. Hashtag
Want me to repeat
BLM.
that? 'Cause I don't have any
WTF
problem
does
with
that
it.
even
Yes, if you
mean?
don't mind, please. And thank you, Mr. Real
Okay.
Time, sir.
What I said is I've given some constructive criticism on the fact that in the upper left-hand corner, it looks like it's one of the old projection TVs that weigh 1,000 pounds in the front, and you get all the mechanicals in the back. So what we need to do is widen the screen out so we can see more of you and less of the frame.
Okay. And so, yes, I've seen that the projection screen is not favored. So yeah, we will definitely fix that. And Heidi, that was definitely your fault, Heidi.
We just bring it back up from 1990 to 2020.
I mean, everything, you know, what they say, fashion is cyclical. You know, everybody likes the retro, throwback, nostalgia stuff. So, you know, I just bring back the old big ass TVs.
Actually, it does. It's what they call a 30-year cycle. So people are starting to wear like 80s and 90s stuff now. And back when we were in the 80s, we were in 50s and 60s stuff. So that's where the rotation. It's a 30-year cycle on fashion. But I'd have to say that I am super excited about being able to see with more clearer eyes about what people have been talking about. I've always understood, I've always known that there was racism, but systemic racism is different. It's deeper. It doesn't ever get talked about, and that's one of the things that's been really important, to have those kind of conversations going. That's one of the reasons I didn't call in this week, because the fact that there's so many other voices that need to be heard louder than mine, and I'm okay with that. From here, I'm going to tell you that I don't have white guilt, and I might be a shit for saying that, but I treat human beings like human beings. If you're an ass, you're an ass, and I've been consistent about that, and I'll always be consistent about that. So I don't want to stay too much longer than my 10 minutes, because I know we've got a ton of calls, and I'd love to hear from everybody tonight. So have you got any quick questions for me, or are we good?
We're talking about some of the negative things that have happened this year. What was the highlight so far of this year?
I'm going to be a grandmother come the end of November, the 1st of December, with my first grandchild.
Okay.
My son's moving out, so I just sent my daughter at home, so I'm becoming a empty nester parent. So those are good things. I mean, I'm going to miss the kids, but I'm glad that their lives are at the point that they're successes to launch. So those are really positive things. I'm liking the fact that people are having to be conscious of whether they choose to cover their face up or not. And if they don't, they're going to own it down the line. And if they do, then they've made their choice. The only thing is sometimes I've seen signs on different stores that if you want to come in, you can't wear your mask because they're like the convenience stores. I don't know if you've seen any of those ones, but that was kind of interesting.
No, I haven't seen any of those.
Yeah. I'd like to hope and think that I don't want to be idealistic and think that everybody can be kumbaya and this is going to be perfect, but I'd like to think that things can get better. Canceling the police departments is really a rash, emotional statement rather than the logic that we still need to have some sort of order. I do believe, and I think that I had said before, that retraining or clarifying police policies are an important part of a procedure. And get out there and vote. I mean, people don't think that their vote matters, but it always does. You know, because guess what? You can call your congressman up, you can call a senator up or whatever and say, listen, I voted for you. You know, so it gives you a little bit of power. It doesn't mean everything, but it does mean something. And every little something can make something great. But anyway, I refuse to go off on a tangent, and we're not having any more bellisms tonight, so I'm going to head out, and I'm going to listen to the rest of the show.
All right. Well, Ms. Bell, I appreciate you getting the party started. You know, the bell has rung and class is in session.
All right. Good night, Honcho.
All right. You have a good evening. Thank you.
You too.
All right. Shout out to Ms. Bell. Getting it jumped off tonight. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
What's up? What's up, Hans? Frost here.
Frost, what's the motherfucking deal, man? How you doing this evening, Frost, sir?
Good, sir. Good, sir.
Good. Okay, what's on your mind, man? How has 2020 been treating you?
2020, like I said a few years ago, is that this year feels a lot like Armageddon.
Really?
Yeah, because it feels like Armageddon, because it feels like one of those things where this big negative, it feels like actually the year didn't exactly start off that bad, but oddly enough, it feels like once Kobe Bryant died, in that helicopter crash, it feels like things just start getting worse and worse. And as far as this whole coronavirus things go, I didn't really care at first. I didn't really mind it too much because I thought it wasn't that serious. But then, because I really didn't think it was that serious. But then when, like I said, but then I knew it was serious because once they evacuated us from school, I was pissed. Because once again, I felt like for the third time my graduation was stolen from me.
Well, why do you feel like that?
Yeah, because like I said, and notice pretty much I said third time is because like I said, because actually look, I was actually supposed to graduate last year, but then in late 2018 that fell through because I was missing some classes and the teacher didn't tell me, and the teacher didn't tell me. So then I was slated to graduate in 2008 I was supposed to graduate in the winter of 2019, but then that fell through again because I messed up in the chemistry class, which I hated so dearly. And then I was late, when this year came about, I was finally about to graduate. All I had to do was write the semester out. Then that coronavirus came in. Then we had to be evacuated from school, and I was understandably furious, but still, technically, I passed all my classes. We did the whole thing online. So pretty much, as far as I know, so far, my graduation is like the only positive thing I can say for 2020. Other than that, 2020 as a whole, the best way that it can be summed up is wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that's definitely 2020 so far. Okay. Well, do you expect it to get better, man? I mean, what plans did you have for 2020?
The plans I have for 2020 first and foremost was to graduate. The plans I had for 2020 was graduate the right way first and foremost because I wanted to do because I wanted to exit school the right way. Then some other things I was gonna do is possibly like find a job that related to my major, and then find a job that related to my major, possibly work at a gym or anything. But all those things, like I said, but of course all those things got kiboshed, but at least I'm still working at the job I got.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of people not working at all. There's a lot of people who are in some very peculiar situations. So yeah, I mean it's good. At least you still got employment, so that's definitely what's up.
Yeah, and speaking of jobs, seeing as how everybody's been getting stimulus and unemployment, I wonder once all this is over, do you think some people are probably going to be under investigation for unemployment fraud?
I wanna think so. But then, I'm wondering if it's just such a grand scale, the numbers are so massive that it would be pretty difficult, maybe, to try to, maybe audit. I don't know if they would have to audit everybody, but I would just assume that it would be very time consuming. I don't know what you get out of it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. I guess, maybe make an example or two, but I'm not counting on it highly.
Yes and no. Another thing I really can't seem to deal with is that this whole George Floyd thing is really starting to bring out the racist side of some of these white folks. For example, all these companies and stuff posting about talking about it. Some of them are most likely in a situation where it's like, damn if they do, damn if they don't. And what I mean by that is that they're in this kind of situation where, like, if they don't say anything about it, then some people will say, some people are going to say, hey, they didn't say anything about it, so that means they probably have some race things with them. But then you have those companies where even when they do say something about it, then people want to go in the comments and start bringing up pets. Then people start bringing up stuff they did in the past and whatnot. Which really makes me sick is because sometimes it's like even when people try to set a good example, it's still bitched about.
Right. So no matter what is going, you're going to catch some flack over anything in the past, and that's the thing. It could be a decade ago, and you could have made the most changes in your life, grown, evolved, whatever it may be, because the majority of people don't change, because the majority of people are stagnant. They feel like everybody else is, and that people remain the way that they are. So they try to use that as, I guess, cancellation leverage. I don't know if that's the proper term for it, but that's just kind of like where we are right now. It's stupid, but I don't know. It's just everything's canceled. Gone with the Wind canceled. We canceling cartoons now. I mean everything's canceled. So it's I don't get it because it's never really canceled. Because if you're still talking about it. Like, how the fuck is it canceled, right? So, I don't know.
Yes, like I said, I really hate this cancel culture nowadays because it feels like I said, sometimes I wonder, are opinions against the law nowadays?
Well, that's what it seems like. I mean, they will be if they're not officially yet, they will be soon.
Yeah. Yes, it feels like, I don't know why. It feels sometimes, sometimes it really feels like, sometimes I feel like around 2015 or 17, it really feels like, I truly believe somebody broke into the White House, looked at the Constitution, ripped up the First Amendment and wiped their ass with it.
That's what it feels like. I mean, honestly, it does. 'Cause, I mean, if you say anything, who was it they were trying to cancel? She's a wokey woke. The author.
Paw Patrol.
No, yeah, they were trying to cancel Paw Patrol too, but no, the Harry Potter lady. What's her goddamn name?
Oh, so J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling. I was going to call her J.R. Tolkien or some shit. J.K. Rowling, yeah, and you know, she was basically, because she's like a feminist, and you know, people been getting mad at her about the trans thing, and she's like basically standing her ground on, you know, her feelings with that, and they trying to cancel her. You know what I mean? So it's like nobody's allowed to have an opinion. It's not about, well, let me understand why you feel this way, or let me educate you as to, you know, this. It's just, you don't think like I think. Let's try to wipe your existence from the face of the earth, and that shit makes no sense to me.
Yes, also, and that J.K. Rowling thing, that's another cancel thing that was stupid, just because she gave her thoughts on trans people. And look, and here's the thing, look. I try my best to maintain neutral when it comes to the LGBT community. I really do, but it's just some of the shit they be saying and some of the shit that they be doing really make it hard, especially like this especially these trans people. It's like, and what J.K. Rowling said, I pretty much agree with her, because that's the thing. You could change you could change your all to yourself all you want. But mostly when it comes down to is whatever you're born as, that's what you're always gonna be. Because that's the thing. If you're a trans woman, that's the thing. You're not a woman. That's the thing. You're not a woman. You're a man with K.
Oh. I'm not going to say anything. I've been attacked multiple times by the trans community for me simply voicing my opinions on a matter that took place. And it turns out once the information all came out, the shit I assumed was true. But they didn't like that. They didn't want to hear that. So I'm not even going to say that, man. I'm going to just leave it be. They got their whole healthcare thing they got to deal with. They don't need any more problems from Honcho. But here's the deal, man, Mr. Frost, man. Like I say, we hit the 10-minute rule here, sir. But I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts, and it's always good to hear from you, man.
Yeah. Back time.
All right, sir. You have a good evening. Shout out to Mr. Frost. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
How are you doing there, Mr. John?
Damn, where'd you find this one, son?
Oh, man. That is a great drop. What's on your mind here, Mr. John? How has 2020 been treating you?
It's just another year for me. How's it been treating you?
I had a little absentee period there for a second, but other than that, you know, I really don't have too many complaints. It's just crazy observing everything that's going around more than anything else, and just trying to figure out where does all of this stop and how do we end up as a country.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything with the country in 2020 was going great until you took down the picture of the Kente Kufi hat behind you, and you just ruined the second half of 2020.
All right, so you're saying the last 45 minutes have been the worst 45 minutes of 2020, and the removal of the hat has just sent us on a downward spiral. That sounds about right. But I mean, so you say it's just another year. You don't think it's been that major of a deal?
If this year bothered you, you felt it was difficult, tough to live through so far for the past 6 months, then you're not ready for the purge in 2021. Just go fly to Mars and live there, because it's only going to get worse, folks. Every year that we go on, we see things are just getting more wild in every way possible. I was talking to a friend today, and we were watching this video together, and the lady who was narrating the video said, well, during these tough times we're going through right now, and I just yelled out, like, tough times right now? We've been going through tough times for 400 years. Like, this country, since somebody landed on this land, this country has been going through tough times. I mean, we've had wars, we've had race riots, we've had assassinations, murders, all kinds of horrible things. This is a cakewalk for human beings in America, what we've been through in 2020.
Okay. So, but do you feel that 2020 is going to have any, well, I guess you could say it already has, but will it have a permanent impact on the way Americans live from this point forward?
What's that?
So do you think that 2020 will have a permanent impact or change on the way that Americans live?
No. I think and I said to you last week, within 30 days, everyone will be, forget about what's been happening the last few weeks, and already the hashtags on Twitter that are trending are different. I'm talking to people, no one's talking about what's been happening the last 30 days. I walked into a restaurant today without my mask by accident, and the guy's like, yeah, don't worry about it. More people are out and about. Everything's going to be back to normal.
Yeah, that's interesting that you mentioned that, because I was out and about today, and, it was no big deal. I went out to eat, and I had to go run a couple of errands. I went to Home Depot and Lowe's, no issue. A couple of people wearing masks in there. But I go to Best fucking Buy, and these fucking Best Buy bitches tell me I can't come in the fucking store without an appointment. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Everybody else is back to normal. Why do y'all have to cause a problem? But yeah, they'll be like everybody else in a week or so. Okay. So you don't think nothing permanent, everybody's back to normal. Do you think there's any concerns about a reemergence of the corona?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we only had about 1 million protesters and rioters out in the streets. We're sending everybody back to work in phases, but you're still sending chunks of people back out. There's no vaccine for it yet. So that's inevitable. The media knows that. The healthcare facilities know that. There's no way around it. But the reason why they're sending everybody back in phases is so when the cases spike up and people go back to the hospital, it won't be an overload for the emergency rooms and the ventilators and stuff like that. So they basically know most Americans are going to get it before the vaccine happens. They're just trying to prevent everyone from getting it at the same time, so they have enough medical professionals and healthcare products to take care of us.
It's going to be interesting. I can't wait for that. It's going to be a fun time. What do you think about sports, though? I mean, this has been an interesting time. I think maybe a first where we've gone, kind of this extended amount of time without the distractions that we usually look so forward to in the sports entertainment world. Do you think that once that kind of comes back on track, people forget about everything? Do you think sports are changed? Like, what do you think is going to happen with that?
Same thing. I think they'll be back to normal. All the major sports leagues are multi-billion-dollar enterprises, if not trillion. Money talks, everything else walks. Like Al Sharpton showed you, they gave George Floyd more funerals than MLK, Malcolm X, and Medgar Evers combined. So money talks. So you got billions and trillions of dollars to be made. They'll figure out a way to get it done. It is what it is.
Okay. Yes, I think it's very...
Oh, and by the way, today is the anniversary of when Medgar Evers was assassinated in his driveway.
Correct. Which is crazy with everything else that's going on, that all these things fall along this timeline. And I don't know, the Floyd thing bothers me. Again, and it really shouldn't. I shouldn't be that concerned with it. But it's just like this grandiose display for what? Like,
What's that?
I'm just looking at the Floyd thing. I say it still bothers me because it's like you had this extremely grandiose display, but for what, really? You know, and to me, it's just like a big, huge political statement. Now, John, I know you've been a proud Democrat all of your life, and I know you're a big fan of Nancy and the gang. What are your thoughts about, you know, her recent fashionable attire and her political statement that she made? What are your thoughts
about it? I know the Congressional Black Caucus are the ones that recommended that they wear the kente cloth. Mm-hmm. I don't know why they're wearing it. It's an African attire, and a lot of the American black people I talk to are like, don't call me African American. I have no relationship to Africa. Africans don't even like us. Blah, 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 blah. So I think the bigger issue is them being all talk and no action. I read I went to the judiciaryhouse.gov website today, and I read the Justice and Policing Act of 2020 that they're proposing, and it's literally, I read all the bullet points, and it's literally a fucking joke. They're literally just going to put into federal law all the things that the majority of police departments have already been practicing. It's just now going to be official. So I had a friend of mine read it who is black, and they were like, oh, yeah, you know, it sounds like good stuff. I was like, well, it's already stuff that's mostly being put in place by the majority of police departments across the country, especially major cities. And then I said to them, well, do me a favor. Take off your black reading glasses and put on your white devil reading glasses and tell me what you see. And then I read through it with them, and I explained how each thing actually doesn't help any black people, at least not any more than it already does. And then they were like, oh. So it's a joke. Save the kente cloth for someone else and actually do something for people that have put you first for 55 years and you've put them last, like Malcolm X said. So you should, you know, go where people treat you right. Try a Republican, try an independent, see what happens.
Hold on 1 second, Mr. Stein. Give me just a second, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me how I rat and came home to a big bag. You big man. Yo, I know Nicki Minaj is mostly plastic, but did she have breast augmentation as well? I was gonna say, because I saw that new video with her and Tekashi trolled, and to quote the great and late Patrice O'Neal, she had some beautiful titty meat.
Oh yes, what did he say? Something. He had a word for it. That undisclosed, not undisclosed titty meat. He called it something. I used to use that shit all the time. I thought that shit was funny as shit. Okay.
Like just one day out of the year, we should be allowed to sexually harass you. Being around you, it's like a bear being around salmon fish they're coated in honey, and we just can't put our paws on it.
Exactly. Patrice was very underappreciated. You know, if you've never watched Patrice O'Neal stand up, I recommend. Every man in here does. Some of you ladies may not be too keen on it, but you know, it is what it is. Okay. Let me see. Anything else that's on your mind, Mr. John?
Today's the anniversary of Mildred Jeter and Richard Lovin going to the Supreme Court and win their case to get rid of interracial banned marriage laws for the last 12 states that were in America at the time. Breonna Taylor got the no-knock law passed through Rand Paul. I think, what was it, Kansas or Kentucky, somewhere over there. Today would have been the 91st birthday of Anne Frank. She was killed by the Nazis when she was 15 years old in Germany. What else? I'm trying to think of. You know what the worst thing of 2020 is?
What's that?
That we have to wait until 2021 to see 2 AJ versus Fury fights.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. That's wild. It's funny because I said I wonder how Wilder feels because now it's like you've become that guy, and it's fucked up because I think Wilder can take Joshua. But I've been telling him that Fury's a different breed, but
What do you think the outcome's going to be of those two fights?
Fury and Joshua.
Yeah.
I think Fury wins.
You said Fury, both of them or just one of them?
I think he wins both of them.
I'm going to go 1-on-1.
Okay. Now,
I just think Fury's the better boxer. He's more technical, but I think AJ's got that. He's got enough one-punch power to hurt Fury.
Yeah, but here's my thing, though, right? You talk about one-punch power. Would you say AJ or Wilder has more one-punch power?
Yeah. So I guess Deontay Wilder, he's out the question. I guess they worked it out to get him out of the way. I guess because he was owed one more fight.
No, he still has one more fight, but basically Fury's looking past him. He feels like all I got to do is go wash him up real quick, and then we're moving on. So they've gone ahead and made the deals. That's why I find it funny. Now that's the one thing about Fury is like, hey, don't get into one of those situations where you're overconfident. Because the thing about Wilder, and I think there was a couple of things that happened at that last fight, and one of them is Wilder. He's a showman coming in doing the stupid shit with whatever the fuck that shit was dumb. It is what it is. But you can't use that as an excuse. And what he came in thinking was that, well, I tapped him a couple of good times that last fight. All I'm going to have to do is do it again. And he's going, he'll stay down this time. And I think that's what he was looking for. And again, that happened while I was locked up. And so I think that's that's where we see the memes that we saw. Like Wilder has to come into this fight with a different mentality and some better training. But like I say, ultimately, when we're talking straight boxing, Fury's a better boxer. But the thing about Wilder is if he gets lucky, and I won't say if he gets lucky, he can put you to sleep at any time. And so you always have to be aware of that. But I think once Fury took that punch, in the first fight and got up from it, I think Wilder, it could have either impacted Wilder's psyche or it gave Fury that confidence to know he gave me everything that he had and I still got up from it, I'm ready for whatever. So, like I said, I think that punch, even though, like I say, he landed and knocked him down, it actually ended up probably doing Fury more favors than it did for Wilder in the long run.
Yes. I agree. I'm going to let you run. I know you got an 8-minute rule, which I think was very classy in honor of George Floyd, the 8 minutes and 46 seconds. What I would... Am I the only one who picked up on that?
What, the 8-minute rule? Because of that? No.
Hold on. Am I the most pro-black person in the den? I can't be. Come on.
You've gotten too woke on us. That's what's happening. I would absolutely not.
I do. I want to say one thing. I want to speak to the millennials and the Generation X and Zs, whatever you call yourselves out there. Stop tearing down every fucking statue that you walk past. Read the plaque and see what the statue is. Because Matthias Baldwin was an abolitionist. He took all of the money he made from his business because he was a rich man, and he built a school. And then when nobody would fund him because they were racist, he paid all the teachers' salary until he died. Every single one out of his wealth, out of his pocket. Stop it. I just got word that they're looking to rip down the Rocky Balboa statue in Philadelphia because they're mad that he beat up 3 black guys and a communist.
John, you see what I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to fool us, John. I know all about these so-called abolitionists. They really want to abolish black people. That's what it is. And so you're just trying to save their statues, and that's what it is. Take them all down. Burn all the statues.
Well, they're saying Trump is a racist for not changing any of the forts, any of the military bases after I guess they're aimed at the Confederate people. But the thing is, Obama had the option and was asked to do that in 2011, and he said, no, they're historical names and sites. I'm not going to mess with U.S. history. So all I'm saying is, if Trump is wrong and Obama is wrong, just keep that same energy for everybody. Like, it's 2020. George Floyd passed away. We rioted for the name of equality and fairness. Let's keep the same energy for everybody. So if somebody's wrong, somebody else is wrong, doesn't matter what their skin color is, their religion, their sexual orientation, nationality. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Keep the same energy. But So I guess that's all I have to say, unless you have any questions for me.
No, sir. No further questions.
Okay, and I would like to debate Kenneth Fitzgerald. I know he won't. I know he's gonna lie and say I'm gonna call him the N-word, and that's why he won't. That's why he won't debate me. But meanwhile, he called in and called, and I quote, he called Mexicans N-words with tacos. He called Asians with their funny googly eyes. He called white people white devils. So, but you're right. I can have a conversation with Trill for 45 minutes, and none of us can curse or raise our voices. I can have a debate with Ashley about racism and not curse or raise my voice. I couldn't possibly ever have one with him. So, I'm not going to rip into him now because he's not here. But I would like to have a debate with him. And the bottom line is, stop running scared. Stop doing all that talking. If you really want change, you'll do whatever it takes to get that change instead of talking about it. So I'm here. I'm ready. I'll be respectful. I know you will be too. Let's get this done.
Let's get it on. That's what I'm talking about. We'll have us another Den Show debate real soon. We'll have one next week.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go easy on you like Prepaid and Broderick did. They let you off the hook when they had you cornered. I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire. I'll be respectful and I'll be kind, but I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire. And that's why I know he doesn't want to debate me. Because he doesn't want change. He wants the ability to just keep yelling about things that are broken. So, if you're a man, and if you believe in equality, call in and let's have a respectful debate, gentleman to gentleman.
As it should be.
Yes. Thank you for your time, Honcho. I appreciate it. God bless you, and I hope to see you in 2021.
I'll try to make it. We'll see. But that's a bad job, and I appreciate your call, sir. You have a great evening.
All right, thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Oh, yeah, 2021 should be really interesting. If 2020 was this, I can't wait. What's the motherfucking deal? Who got calling into the den this evening?
Hey, Honcho.
What's up, real time? What's the motherfucking deal? What's on your mind, sir? Sound a little low on my end. That should be a little bit better. All right, I'm sorry. Say something. I couldn't hear you too well at first.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good. You're loud and clear.
So, for me personally, 2020 hasn't been that bad. I have to say that at least it's not been boring. It's definitely been an interesting year so far.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. What would you say has been the most interesting part of 2020?
I would have to say, I would have said the most interesting would have been the whole Corona scare, but now I'd have to say this whole change on stance on Black Lives Matter. Like, I'm not saying that it's genuine. I will never say it's a genuine stance that they're changing. I'm just saying that the way certain companies are changing is very surprising. Yeah. Especially like NASCAR. NASCAR saying no more Confederate flags at any of their races.
That blows my fucking mind. Of all the things I've heard, I think that may be the craziest, because there is, like, of everybody who said anything, NASCAR might be the most genuine, right? Because what the fuck do they have to gain from supporting Black Lives Matter? Absolutely nothing. But they are going all in with it, and so that blows my mind. The NASCAR thing really blows my mind.
And then you had the NASCAR driver who just said, "Hey, I'm gonna go all in on this." Paints his car with Black Lives Matter, like.
Yeah, that's
all right.
That's wild. Yeah, and that's funny to actually see that the difference. You had the one guy who says, "Oh, I'm quitting after the race season," and then you have the other guy who says, "Well, I'm going to embrace this and I'm going to go all in." You know, and it's funny because the guy who's quitting after the race season is trash anyway. Like, never won anything, so. But like a 50-year-old race car driver ain't never won shit. I don't think anybody cares. You know, you just make room for somebody who's a bit better. So I guess there's that. You know, but again, it kind of goes to the thing that, and you were in the sauce, that Spitz was mentioning in the sauce, that, you know, if you're a person and you're sitting here and say, well, I'm not going to watch this, or I'm not going to do this anymore because of, you know, whatever, then why even make an announcement about it, and why not just go do it? You know, and it's because you want that extra added support and all that other stuff. And that's all that other guy was after when he was talking about he's going to quit. But just quit right then, man. Fuck it. Like, you know, retire right then. Don't stall it out. Don't delay it. Just do it. But in reality, like I said, they're just trying to garner support. That's a weird thing.
No, that's anyone. Anyone who's anyone always wants to try and put their name in the spotlight. Oh, I'm doing this. No one really cares. Just do something. But seriously, like, I'd have to say that was the biggest surprise to me, was just the change in the stance on it, and then the certain companies that changed their stance was the biggest surprise. Me personally, my biggest surprise for me personally was that tweet, that follow on Twitter I sent you. Like, what is this?
I have no idea what's happening there.
But like, what does it mean that I'm sicker than your average BLM? What does this even mean?
I don't even know. It's probably not a good thing. It can't be a good thing. Because there's some sick motherfuckers out there, so you're sicker to death. It can't be a good thing. I don't know what that means. That's definitely not the way I would phrase it, but I probably wouldn't use none of that. But I guess you're going to put that together. I'm pretty sure there's a better way you can get out whatever point you were trying to make, or she was trying to make by putting that.
Yeah. So tell me, if I don't follow her back, am I being racist? Like.
No, fuck that. You're being sensible. Like, oh, damn, all that extra shit. Don't get caught up in those issues. There's a lot of problems there. I can see it from the screenshot.
Yeah, it's like if I don't follow you back, am I racist? If I follow you back, am I just being white guilt? Like, you put me in a very interesting spot, person.
Yeah, just don't follow back. You're all right. Yeah. Otherwise, your timeline's going to become much different than it was. So,
yeah.
No big.
But the other thing I do want to talk about really quickly, and is to kind of tell John, hey, you might want to be careful about everything's about to go back to normal, because CDC, and I sent it to Honcho, CDC straight up said, if fights keep going up, they will re-implement all the restrictions all over again. And that's coming from the CDC telling the government, hey, if these fights keep going up, we're going to have to go back to the lockdowns.
Do you think people will go back as willingly? Because I think you had the fear factor on people originally, and not knowing what could happen and all the media hype.
Honcho, you got to remember, the CDC doesn't care about all of that.
But I get it. But I'm saying, will people willingly abide by the rules? Because now you see everybody was so eager to get out, and now people don't have the same view of the coronavirus as they did. You know, initially it was super fearful. Now it's like, oh, it's not that bad. Whatever. We don't want to wear these masks. You're sweaty. My breath stinks. All that kind of stuff. And they don't want to go through sitting in the house again. So do you think that like Americans would willingly comply, or do you think that they'll have to kind of start using more government force?
Oh, okay. If Americans don't willingly comply, what's going to happen to America happened to China when the other countries shut it down. And America cannot afford the other countries to shut us down. Because most of our stuff is import in it. We import pretty much everything. And if the other countries are like, hey, we're not going to send you anything until y'all take control of this, we're screwed.
I mean, it is going to be very interesting. You know, come November, things cooling off. You're expecting spikes to happen. You got a big political event taking place, and
I can tell you another interesting little thing that you'll find really interesting.
What you got?
So the CDC put out a new model saying that the death rate to corona is going to start dropping until September.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Now, I wonder why they picked the month of September to all of a sudden show a decrease in the spike. What's supposed to happen in September, Honcho?
Sports and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man. Like, 'cause I think about the sports, I think about the schools, I think about, like, I can only imagine, because if the parents are tired of their kids now, oh man, it's gonna be
What? The Honcho, you trying to say that the homeschooling and the video schooling ain't working? What?
So here's my thing, though, right? Like, so you got like homeschool, video school. Like, if you're homeschool, do you get fresh new clothes for the first day of school, or do you just keep wearing the same shit? Like, how does that work? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how does that work in the homeschool arena? Like, you're just gonna be at home, so are your parents like buying you a bunch of new school clothes and you just wrap them around the house so they can take pictures and send them to your grandma or something? Like, what the fuck is going on with the fashion shit in homeschool? I need to know. I don't know if anybody can answer that for me.
I mean, if I was homeschooled like the video conference schools are doing now, I'm telling you right now, I'd only be wearing a shirt. I wouldn't care about anything below.
That's what I do on the stream. So everybody, thinks I'm. I mean, I sit here in just a shirt just to look halfway appropriate.
Heidi, Black Friday versus the COVID pandemic. Really?
You already know what's going to happen. Unless you know what's going to happen. Nobody's going to, come on, man. Like, nobody's going to give two shits. This is Black Friday, last year's goods. Everything's on sale. We're coming to get this shit. Matter of fact, fuck the COVID. I'm going to send this tent next to a bunch of other tents for fucking 3 days. But I could have just came and showed up after Thanksgiving and got the same shit. But anyway, I'm gonna do this. This is tradition. And so, yeah, that's the people you got to worry about. The motherfuckers in the tents camping out for days at a time. But those are the motherfuckers don't have that's gonna get it. So.
Honcho, you're thinking too small. You're thinking way too small.
What do you mean?
You're having people out there spitting on stuff, sneezing on stuff. Oh, I'm sick. I got corona. Trying to get their deal on their TV. They're going to go over there, cough on it, and spit on it. And
that's what I do. I mean, if I wanted it, I'd do it, but I don't think anybody cares. And you know what's crazy? Like, I mean, and you don't think about it. I guess if things have been relatively normal for you, you've been in your house all this time, you don't think
God damn it, Heidi.
As things are trying to, like,
God
get back
damn
together. You say you're trying to buy a new car. I would try to go find a washer and dryer today. Right? And so I was talking to the lady at Lowe's, and she was just like, well, these particular models, they were supposed to come in on the 5th because of the large back order. Then they ended up pushing it back a week, like the day that they were supposed to come in, and then so it was to the 12th. Then on the 12th, they ended up pushing it back to the 19th. And so the thing is like, okay, so you're telling me I have to pay you for the stuff now, and get on a list, and then not knowing when I'm going to receive the items from that list, because it's not just this store, it's all these other stores too, but like Maytag and Whirlpool and like all of these brands, because of COVID, they haven't been working. So I guess things you don't necessarily think, but if you already established you got to fucking wash and dry and all these other things, your house already know, you don't care about that stuff. But like buying appliances and all these things, like there's a very limited stock, because nobody's working at those places, nobody's making the items. So it's like these things are on back order for months now, and then again seeing how people are just now kind of getting back into working, and again it's going to take some time to catch up. I think it's going to be very interesting, and if things shut down again, it's going to be not interesting, it's going to be terrible. So I thought that was really crazy.
If America shuts down again, I really do believe that there will be more riots and a straight up war. I 100% believe it.
Y'all better be ready. Y'all better be ready for those riot videos y'all been watching to be live on your street, depending on where you may be located. Yeah.
But let me get off of here. Let someone else talk.
Okay. Well, Mr. Real Talk, I appreciate you calling in, sir, and sharing your thoughts with us this evening.
Thank you.
All right, good. But yeah, that's you talking about people stealing PS5 and stuff. The fucking looking like old Xbox 360s. You know, just fuck that PS5. What's the motherfucking deal? We got called into the den this evening.
Hey, it's your boy Josh again, man.
Josh, what's the motherfucking deal? Josh, what's on your mind this evening, sir?
Yeah, just continue thinking to tell you talking about the year 2020 and how it's gone and how I guess up and down it's been. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't been on this earth that long. I'm only 22 years old, but has 2020 been the craziest year of your life to you so far? That you've been on earth longer than me?
Like if we're talking about as a whole, like I guess shit everybody going through, maybe like second. 2001 was very interesting. The end of 2001 was very interesting because it changed so much. Look, Heidi, you gotta just ruin my shit, Heidi. Because it's like when that happened, that was the game changer. That's like when everything like that. I mean, you talk about from flying. I mean, every aspect of your everyday life changed. Terrorism became a daily word. You know, you talk about Muslims, like all these new things were like introduced into your life, or maybe in mine, because these were things that we talk about on a daily basis. And you know, it just changed the way you viewed everything. It changed the way you viewed the entire world as an American. You know what I mean? To have what's the term we're using now? The buzzword outside agitators come in and attack your country, right? That's what they say. So that to me was the biggest change, because you I don't know, I don't want to say you felt vulnerable, but you started wondering, like, what's next? You know, what's going to happen next? If they were creative enough to do something this way, you know, well, what is it that we're not thinking about? How are we not protecting ourselves where something else can happen? But, yeah.
Yeah, now Kenneth tell people to get over 9/11, but I ain't gonna say that because, like I said, I was so young at the point where I barely remember. I only see it in the history book, so it just the effects is just not the same. To be honest, but yeah, I ain't gonna tell people to get over it.
Well, Kenneth went alive. He's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but about 2020, like it goes crazy. Like I project it's gonna go, then we in for some, I guess, life changing stuff, because we're all talking about now. We talk to black people to now they want their own government. Now they want to govern themselves because they don't think police can do it themselves. You got the Seattle situation going on. Like I've never seen anything like this. It's almost as if this was orchestrated and planned somehow.
You think so?
Because it's almost just like everything's coming together.
Yeah, it's definitely some weird shit happening, and that's why I say because the way they're talking about, like I said, we've seen these things before. This ain't the first time you've seen a killing, and maybe I don't know, maybe it changes because it wasn't a shooting or I don't know. Because I'm gonna be honest, like I have this thing, like I think movies and shit is like kind of known to Americans, action movies and shit. So like we don't look at like gun violence maybe as a thing because you don't necessarily get your hands dirty in the act of shooting somebody. But if you have to, you know, get up close and personal with someone, saying if you were stabbing or, you know, choking out, or you're making contact with this person, basically, you know, I think it's different. Maybe people view it differently or something. I have no idea. I've always personally felt that I think it's a little bit tougher to have to gut somebody than to shoot somebody. You know, because I think you gotta. You know, we ain't gonna talk about that. That's a difficult conversation. But So do you? Where do you think this all ends up when it's all said and done?
I think it ends up, honestly, man, I think we're heading down a road where I've seen some crazy stuff about 75% and about 75% segregation again and a new government. I think this is where it's heading.
You think it's gonna end up in segregation and a new government? You think niggas gonna
Yeah.
govern themselves?
Yeah, because the way I'm seeing shit, because the way you see shit going now, it's almost, because we all know this to be true. What's happening in Seattle is happening, and the mayor and governor's not going to stop it, right? They're going to let it continue. That because it was so funny because CNN said it was nonviolent, and then they reported from there, and then someone tried to do violent things to the reporter, and they had someone physically, one of their security guards, try to X him out, try to grab him and throw him out the screen so Anderson Cooper won't see it. And they stopped talking about it, and CNN don't talk about Seattle ever again.
Interesting.
Because the more they talk about it, the more, out of control it gets. And the mayor's saying it's not out of control. They're peaceful people, but they have guns in the street. How is that peaceful? They're fighting each other in the street behind them. Like, you got,
that whole situation is crazy. And again, you're gonna hear, depending on who you listen to, you're gonna hear so many different things. If you depend on, like, say, one side's gonna tell you these motherfuckers are going nuts and they assassinate people, and these motherfuckers are warlords and they're god kings, and these motherfuckers doing all kind of crazy shit. They having rap concerts too. They're holding businesses. They're extorting them, and they do all that kind of crazy shit. And then the other side is, well, everything's peaceful. We're all sharing. We're just protecting one another. And and again, depending on what side of the aisle you're on, you're gonna see it the way you want to see it. Like, that's how everything is. And I don't know, man. We'll it's so much shit to talk about. But I want to make sure you have your time. So you think segregation and niggas get to run their own semi-nation? That's what you feel like is gonna happen?
Yeah, that's where it's headed, because it's almost, and I'm going to bring the virus into it itself, because I just did from doing a delivery job today, and everybody's pretty much in the bars partying like there's no virus. So, but the thing is, most people's like, well, we've been marching, we've been protesting, some people without masks, so it's like, it doesn't have a big kill rate, because what I believe has happened is this. And most people call it conspiracy and everything like that, because everybody knows that the World Health Organization wants to depopulate the Earth by 2030. And we're in 2020 right now.
Yeah.
So if it comes out 2-3 years from now that Bill Gates and Fauci and friends accidentally dropped a virus mixed with SARS to depopulate people with low immune systems, I won't be surprised. Because Australian doctors already came out and said there's a high possibility that this might have been a man-made virus already 2 weeks ago.
And again,
and they already admitted it. So it's
all the misinformation, and that's been the biggest thing I've noticed. I think more so than anything this year is all of the misinformation around everything. It doesn't matter what we talk, from impeachment to fucking coronavirus to fucking protest march and everything. It's like, again, like I say, you're never going to get a straight story, I guess, unless you're out there.
But the good thing is, due to social media, the truth is going to be found. It's not going to be, you can't hide shit no more. That's one thing I started. The truth is out there. It's just like you said, there's so much misinformation to the point where it's like, I can say that, you can point to a conspiracy, and then I show it to them, and then they'd be like, damn, like, you can't trust the FBI no more, CIA, everything's been infiltrated.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta. It is what it is, but I don't know. I don't think it's going. I don't see it being a black nation coming out from under this. I definitely don't see that.
No.
And segregation.
What they mean by that is, like, they trying to, like, have their own schools and try to teach their own history because they try to learn about white history all day long. But
we've seen what has happened in a lot of schools when niggas get their own say so. So I think, just saying that, I think there has to be some structure and a foundation.
Yeah.
Like just to sit here and say, we want this and we want that, give us this and give us that. Like, there's a lot of infrastructure that's lacking that I don't think people are accounting for to be able to do these things successfully, to have these programs successfully. And again, to do all this, there are going to be some lifestyle changes required. And people are thinking that, we'll still be able to do everything the same, but we'll just have it like you just don't gain. No, it's going to take work for something like that to be built up. And I don't think people think that. They're just thinking about, how wonderful the end result would be. When in reality, I think it's not going to be this fucking oasis, and it's not going to be this just super smooth thing. Like, it's going to be work. And none of those things I don't think are going to happen personally. But, it is what it is.
And one thing that shocked me was, like, even due to the virus, it's like, I seen this one time in a magazine of Bill Gates' wife, Melinda Gates, talking about she wants black people to test the virus first. And it was, 100% backlash. Like, they want to kill it because it's like, most people believe that viruses don't cure people because, like, all it gives is side effects, and they low-key give you the virus itself in a vaccine anyway, so. People are against that as well.
I won't be one of the early adopters of any vaccines. Matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm trying to think if I've ever had a flu shot. I don't think I have. I'm thinking about that shit. Anyway, I'm not forgetting any extra. Which is crazy because I like tattoos, but I don't want no fucking shot needles poking me. Tattoos are surface level, but I don't need no extra needles fucking me up. You feel me? So, no vaccines for me. Okay. All right. Well, anything else that's on your mind, Mr. Josh?
And one thing before I go, people are starting to wake up to what Sylvester Turner is, and that's a person that, smiles in your face but collect a check on your way out. Because I'm seeing tweets on Twitter, it's like, damn, who do I trust? The government been fucking with us this entire time, and that's when, he, again, him and council people signed legislation to increase the police department for no reason. Just out of nowhere.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. Again, it's a situation where, again, whatever side you believe in, that's fine. I don't care what anybody believes. I have my thoughts. Everybody's entitled to their own thoughts. But if you're going to continue to ride with that group or that side or that person, and they just continue to fuck you over, and you continue to be, so loyal, like, how can you expect any change? Why would I change? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I change if I don't have to? And that's the thing. We can throw in this little stupid ass fabric and say, hey, we rocking with you. And like John said, if the Congressional Black Caucus said that, then y'all really need to realize the niggas that's in the government ain't for y'all. You know what I'm saying? We've already talked about issues and how, they didn't want to go talk to Trump and all that stuff. Like, if you're supposed to be getting shit done from black people, you need to do it by any means necessary. Like, it's no pun intended, but you need to get it done by any means necessary. If you don't give a fuck who you got to talk to, what you got to do, you need to get results. But obviously, that's not what they want to do. It's about symbolism and making it look like something, even though nothing has changed. They're benefiting from it because I'm sure they're getting all kind of kickbacks and handouts. But the people who are in the streets rioting, people who feel like they're being done an injustice, they're not seeing any benefits from any of this shit.
Like the police union story about the guy that killed him just to have a $1 million pension. I mean, that's police unions, and Democrats are the main ones that get money from those police unions. So how do we get rid of that? We can't. Anyway, but and that's the last thing. Like, if anybody thinks it's gonna get worse, like them PS5s, I'm gonna say this: if them hoes over $500 and people are in lockdown, it will be malpractice for you to put PS5s at Walmart, GameStop, and anywhere else. Because people will literally come in and take that shit off the shelves. I'm just telling y'all that right now.
Bitches out here stealing lamps from Target. You think the PS5 is safe? Get out of here.
Yeah.
But this is what's gonna happen though. See, niggas is dumb.
That's my point. Yeah.
But let me tell you though, but niggas is dumb. Let them do it. Because as soon as they fucking log in, and all their information is tracked. And then people knock on your door and say, hey, look, buddy, just give me the fucking PS5 back. Or they take your ass downtown with the rest of the COVID criminals. That's going to be on them. Like, you think they going to let a hot new product out like that just escape? You know what I'm saying? Just like the same way they did with them iPhones. Motherfuckers was cutting them iPhones on. They say, man, bring this bitch back before we bust your motherfucking ass. And, you know, so they took all that risk for nothing. That's going to be the same thing. You think you tell me they wouldn't have a way to fix shit? They going to know where all them hoes at.
And you're right about that because that's why I think like why they rolling it out slowly. I was like, ain't no way in hell they'll just be able to just put this in store and just sell it like that. Like it's too crazy.
Like I say, it's super craziness, but yeah. You know.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah, well, that's about Mr. Josh. Well, I appreciate you calling in, sir, and sharing your thoughts with us this evening. I look forward to hearing from you soon.
All right, man.
All right.
All right, man.
Shout out to Mr. Josh. Time is it? Okay. What time is it? 9:30 today. But like I say, so he was talking about, you know, they're not going to give niggas a nation within a nation. Niggas will not successfully self-segregate. Niggas couldn't fucking successfully self-quarantine. They sure shit finna self-segregate. All you gotta do is hold, wave a little Gucci, a little Louis out in front of them. They're gonna go run for that shit. They're gonna break all the rules to get that shit. Let me see. Like I said, I think this, like I said, it's a multi-tiered problem that we got going on. Politics alone not gonna solve it. I don't think politics is really gonna matter too much anyway.
Maybe the world is ending more slowly than I expected. Who knows?
It's economics, man. Building up your economic power. Shout out to Dad. Say maybe the world is ending more slowly than I expected. No, man. Look, when I tell y'all, and I'm dead serious that this shit is crazy to me. I really mean it. Like I'm not trying to be funny or anything. Like it's to actually see. Like I expect it to be another, like for George Floyd to be a situation. You're gonna have your celebrities. They're gonna speak on it. He's gonna get buried. Cop will have trial in a few months to a year, and then you better pay attention to the trial because everything else is going on. Like, but to see all of this other shit going along, people out there marching and all that, and I'm looking at it like, well, what's so different because he got choked out? That's what makes it, different than any other. I don't fucking know, right? So, but to see, even like I say, even if it's fake love, the acknowledgement to me is interesting. Like I said, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, great, good job. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just, as an observer, I'm looking at it and I'm just like, interesting because, prior to, events that would take place, you didn't hear shit from these big companies. But then, like I said, I look at it too, again, being very skeptical myself. I look at like they just kind of capitalize on what's hot. Think about it. Last year, around this same fucking time frame, Pride Month, you saw all the places change their logos, right? In solidarity with the LGBT. And now, I don't know, maybe it's cool. Maybe that's part of the cool new business practice. So that we're progressive, we're woke, we're down with the people. Excuse me, pardon me, I apologize. To show all these things. And again, but it's funny that Starbucks says they're not involved in it, but then Starbucks changed their logo last year. I think they had the LGBT support thing, but they said they ain't fucking Black Lives Matter. It is what it is. Don't make me no matter either way. But again, if you're standing for something, you need to know who's standing with you and who's not. What's the motherfucking deal? Who got calling into the den this evening?
Hello?
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Hello?
Hola.
What you say? Hola.
Giucolo the Deno. ¿Cómo está?
Bonjour.
This is el
Adios.
No. Arriba. Hello, Miss Rashida. How are you? Ciao.
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well. Muy bien. Doing well.
Look, you ain't gonna keep me talking all night this time. I'm sleepy as hell.
I'm sleepy too. We finna fall asleep on each other. Look, I have a set time limit, and
what we gonna have to do.
yeah, that's what we gonna do. We gonna make it to the time frame. What we got? About a little less than 20 minutes left. All right, we finna talk it out. So what's on your mind, Miss Rashida? How has 2020 been treating you?
It's been okay, but this damn corona shit, that's what got me from. Like, where this shit come from? Like, shit like this. Woo.
So, the coronavirus, how has it impacted, your life on a day-to-day?
Pretty much got to stay in the house, or kids got to be here, and just don't want people come to your house. We want to spray them down with Lysol.
You been spraying them kids with Lysol?
I say people that did.
What I'm saying, the kids, they don't ever go outside, come back in, kind of spray them down?
Nah, but people gotta wash their hands and everything. And make sure they, keep up with things. They gotta keep coming in the house and don't be washing their hands and all that. You gotta be sanitized.
Okay. So, when it's all said and done, let me rewind that. So, some places have been kind of rescinding some of the restrictions, kind of seeing how things are going. How have they been operating in your neck of the woods? Oh, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So, how was Miss Lori in there? Well, I can't help it. I told you. See, I gave y'all a warning at the very beginning of the stream. Told y'all I was tired, but we gonna power through because I owe the good folks to love. But how was Miss Lori Lightfoot handling the situation so far, in your opinion?
Well, it's still. I think we're in phase 3 now, so it's still limited contact with other people. Like, you can't have like big social gatherings. They canceled the Taste of Chicago and Lollapalooza.
Taste of Chicago. It's like a food festival.
It's like a big event where a lot of different restaurants come and showcase their food and you buy tickets.
Yeah, y'all be alright. Y'all ain't doing nothing but serving a bunch of deep dish pizzas anyway. Don't nobody want that shit.
Well, no, it's nice more than pizza. It's a lot of different vendors there. So it's not just pizza. And by you not living in Chicago, you would think Chicago is famous for pizza. And actually, deep dish pizza is not even a thing that real Chicagoans really like. We're more thin crust pizza. But I don't know how they got out that we love deep dish. That's false news.
I'm gonna be
anyway.
I'll be honest with you. Thin crust pizza is terrible.
Yeah, and our pizza is so much better than New York. John from New York. Haha. No.
Okay.
Y'all got that tasteless cardboard shit up there. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Interesting.
I'll just side it, but yeah. And what else I was going to say? And they starting to let the restaurants open up a little bit, but I think you still can't really dine in there. But you can do like takeout, curbside, all that kind of shit. And yeah, so it's like a slow process. Ain't no rushing to have everything completely open. So,
man, I went out to eat today, and I guess because maybe they had things more spread out, and it looked like it was pretty occupied at the place I was at. And then this lady behind me, and she had a baby, and the baby started crying. And nothing can ruin a meal faster or a flight or any of these things than a crying baby. But I will give her credit. You know, she recognized what was going on, and that's the reason I mentioned this is because she, you know, once the baby kind of started crying, she caught on to it quick, and you know, apologized sorry about the baby, and you know, relocated the baby. Like, I wish more people would do that. Like, I hate. Like, I know everywhere you go, you don't have that option, but when you do have that option, like, take your crying ass baby somewhere else. Like, she was like, I'm sorry about the baby, it didn't bother anything. And then, you know, she took it elsewhere to finish crying. It's like, well, motherfuckers just sit there and they just let the baby unload in public places and just disturb everything for everybody. I can't stand that shit. But,
I mean, I really, honestly, I don't even think she should have had the baby out because babies have real low immune system. And corona, you know, definitely not something you want to play with.
Yeah, you don't want to have a Rona baby.
Oh yeah, in our stores and everything, they have like lines marked off so where you stand. Like,
man, does anybody follow that stuff? Does anybody really follow the directions?
People following it. Yeah, people are following it. Shit, you better not be up on me. Shit, you better. I'm looking, goddamn it. Man, your line,
like I say, like I say, you know, everywhere I go, I like deliberately try to break the rules just to see what's gonna happen. So, you know, Arrow be like, go this way.
You know what pissed me off? You know what pissed me off? What did piss me off today?
What's that?
Okay. My mother, she takes medication. No, she's the only one who takes medication and everything. And she normally has her medication delivered, not delivered, but at the pharmacy close to her house, you know. And the pharmacy is closed because, you know, they looted it, and you know so she had to have her medicine switched to another Walmart, almost 30 minutes away. I'm like, that is ridiculous. Y'all just make me think. So, I mean, people like consider like a thing that was gonna affect like the elderly and everything.
Exactly. Second and third order effects of their actions. Nobody thought about that. And, you know, that was some of the saddest stuff I saw when you saw some of these older folks who say, you know, I use public transportation or I go to this store right here. Y'all wipe the fucking store out. I can't buy anything. I can't afford to go, you know, way over here to go shop or, you know, whatever. Like, this is the place I go. This is my routine. And, yeah, and you saw fucking... That's what I'm saying. It's like the people saying, oh, don't complain about the looting. Yeah, fuck them, because that shit is selfish. It's not about justice.
It is.
Because if in reality, because it would happen differently. And when people start looting and rioting, there's no organization. We're going to operate like this. No, it's a bunch of smash and grab, and I want to try to come up off this opportunity. Like, let me tell you why I say looters are trash. Because what are you really protesting when you're robbing each other in the middle of the streets? You know, waiting for a motherfucker to come out the store and loot just so you can rob them and not do the actual looting. You know what I'm saying? Like, that isn't about George Floyd. That ain't about, if you are black and you rob another black man coming out of the fucking store from looting, all y'all are fucked up, one, but where's the justice, or where's the, because this is a whole fucked up situation.
Where's the love,
Where is the love? Yeah. But, you know, but that's my thing. And so you're going to sit here and try to justify, well, you know, fuck them corporations. That's cool. Yeah, the corporations are probably taken care of. They're probably going to do well. Insurance doesn't cover everything. You know, there is a thing, is deductibles, but, you know, people don't want to talk about that. And you rob this place who hadn't been in business for a couple of months. As soon as they open up or try to start opening up, you rob them of all their inventory. Oh, it's okay. They got insurance. Yeah, they ain't got no fucking money. So it's like these places end up going the fuck out of business, right? And then
you don't know that everybody had insurance.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. But people are all making this assumption. So anytime you say, "Hey man, y'all fucking up local businesses," it ain't just about, what business got insurance? Like, that's the first thing they come out and I don't give a fuck about if they have insurance or not. Like, this shouldn't be an issue.
You don't know what type of insurance they had. If they had insurance on their inventory, they might have just had insurance on their bill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like I say, and depending on what it is, again, everything can't be replaced. But again, when you're dealing with people who don't build or not trying to build, when you're a person who's trying to build and you're having a conversation with somebody who's trying to destroy, you'll never be on the same page. You could be speaking the exact same words, but they're going to be viewed so differently. There's going to be a disconnect, and that's the problem. You got people out here who just want to fuck shit up.
And you know that those people that was looting never had shit.
Correct. And they using this as an opportunity to come up.
Because you about shit, and you ain't got time to be out there doing that dumb shit.
No, you're not.
And I watched this thing on the Black Wall Street, and that shit had made me so sad. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought about how these motherfuckers was out there rioting and looting, and they didn't look no better than the white motherfuckers that was out there that tore up Black Wall Street. I mean, they were 35 blocks. They was talking about how prosperous it was, how the people were doing so good. They had black everything.
Yeah, they just it was a beautiful thing. But, you know, and that's what the two things that bother me when you start talking about them.
Y'all gonna be the same as these white motherfuckers that out there told them black people shit up like that, and then you calling yourself a black person, you sitting up there burning down other black people's shit that worked hard for that shit. That shit here pissed me off when I saw that Wall Street thing, and I thought about the way them looters. You know, at first I wasn't I was like a little bit about the riding. But then when I looked at the comparison, I'm like, them white motherfuckers, they used that excuse of it was a black kid or something, he supposed to touch the white girl or something. And they used that as an excuse to sit down and watch Black Wall
on the elevator or something like that.
They used that whole ass shit as an excuse to go do what they did. You know what I'm saying? 1,000 of them, you know, showed up and just tore the shit down, burned everything down. And they never recovered. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, the same way with this life, a lot of them, business ain't gonna never recover. I know I done went on off into something else, but it is what it is.
No, but I mean, there's a correlation there. So, I mean, and here's the thing with, you know, with Black Wall Street, because I do believe that they said like 5 years later they went back to go try to rebuild a lot of it. It wasn't the same.
Yeah, they did. You right. You right. They did say that.
And so my thing is just like, you know, and that's kind of why I say that's what I preach, or not preach, but that's what I suggest, that economics is the answer. Because even back then, you know, you're talking about racism, prejudice, all of this stuff. It was the 20s, and motherfuckers was living good, right? You talk about all racial injustice and all things, but apparently when they put the work,
more money. Black people have access to more money now. Why we ain't doing as good as the people in the 20s? That's what don't make sense to me. I think people in the 20s that didn't have a lot of money afford this, and you trying to tell me in 2020 black people can't have this? That's bullshit. Something ain't registering right.
But here's what happens, especially when you start talking about doing something like that. Well, the first thing they're going to bring up is, well, as soon as black people got their stuff together, you know, they bombed Black Wall Street. And yes, that's true. That did happen. The circumstances and everything were right for them to justify what they did.
Right.
You know, but here it's not like that no more. It ain't the white folks worried about doing it, because now it's all self-inflicted. It's like it's envy and jealousy and all these things. It wasn't about coming together and everybody, you know, we got a common goal. We have a common goal now, but then there's like some sub activity going on, I guess, and where people have their own personal fucking, you know, goals to go along with that. And what they trying to do is, you know, get their own little come up along the lines of, you know, whatever the main objective is. And that detracts, so everybody's not on the same page. Everybody ain't winning. And again, like, they use other people's the situations they went to justify why they don't even try. And so it's like, but you haven't even tried, so how do you know they're gonna come bomb you? You going off of one event that happened somewhere else. And honestly, there are a lot of very nice black areas in America.
Yeah.
But you're not. They're not gonna put one. You're not gonna hear about them because negative shit ain't happening there.
That's what everybody now wants y'all to know about.
Exactly.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And so, like, they had it on, so you're not gonna hear shit about it because they ain't doing the shit that niggas is doing. And they went off, they got busy like that. And so there are places like this all over the country. Even it's a few nice areas in Texas itself that are very primarily black areas. And people are doing well for themselves. So like when people say that, it ain't that. It's just that you don't want to change certain habits that niggas associate with being black, because you just, for some reason, they just have to go hand in hand, and they feel like they'd have to make changes or I'm not keeping it real. And all that shit. So.
You don't want to live kooky and live real, and I'm trying to move in. That's what that is.
But that's the thing. But see, and that's what happens when we're trying to come together, and we know all we gotta do. See, what you have is people who are running to get there. You have people who are jogging to get there. You got people who are walking to get there. You got people who might be moonwalking, and then you got people who just sitting stagnant. And then you have some people who are moving in the direction to try to come together, but they really be so too busy trying to bring that stagnant motherfucker who don't want to move. Y'all worry about it. If he don't want to go, leave him where he at. If he don't want to make the changes, leave him where the fuck he at. You know what I'm saying? And just like everybody don't get to go. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Like everybody doesn't get to go.
The thing is that in order for the black segregation thing to work, you got to have like-minded people. You can't have the builders and then the people that don't want to do shit all together, all mixed in together.
Yeah.
If people want to build something, they got to come together on one accord, and it's almost like an application. Everybody just can't get in. You know what I'm saying? If you want to have your shit right, because I'm sure in the 1920s they didn't have no people in their community on no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They was all about trying to work and trying to progress and making money. You can't have people in there trying to tear your shit down or jealous. When you working on some shit, you ain't got time to be all jealous and hating on what the next nigga doing, because you doing your own shit, and that's what's wrong with a lot of black people. I think that not a lot of black people, I say some black people, because they so busy watching other people's pockets instead of trying to see how they can come up on something on their own. Like when the guy killed Nipsey, you know what I'm saying? He's so busy being jealous of Nipsey and everything and hating on Nipsey. He could have used that same energy to try to put into his own life. Why you worry about what this man got instead of trying to go out there and get yours? And then a lot of times when people feel like you think you better than them, that's their real own attitude about themselves. They feel like you are better than them. And then that's like a self-reflection on them. Like, they thinking, damn, how he come from the same place I come from, and he's so far ahead and I'm so far back here.
It's focus, it's the time, it's the thing you dedicate yourself to. Like, I don't think people realize how much time we waste on a daily basis.
Yeah, thinking about other people and what they got instead of trying to steal what they got. But they said as soon as you out there trying to make a dollar, somebody sees how they can steal your dollar.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's whether you're doing it legit, the wrong way, whatever. It's like you always got to watch, what you're doing. Somebody out there trying to fight for your dollar. Now, I just received a pertinent bit of information, and I need you to I need to know if you can confirm this for me, Ms. Rashida. Is Mayor Lightfoot with a white woman?
Say that again now.
I was asking, is Mayor Lightfoot with a white woman?
Yes. What does that matter?
I'm just inquiring. Seems interesting. She looked like a nigga uncle, so I was just wondering.
But you know what? It doesn't affect how she feels about black people and their needs. So I don't think I don't know. I did find it. I ain't gonna lie. I found that quite interesting as well.
I mean, I just saw because I saw Mr. John say, like, I'm honestly, I don't pay that much attention to Lori Lightfoot. I just see the pictures that pop up when she looking crazy as cat shit, which is always. But if y'all are satisfied with the job she's doing, more power to you. If not, y'all know what y'all gotta do.
She on the police ass, because you know what? I don't know if you saw this story. It was 13 of them that was caught inside Bobby Rush's office during the looting.
Mm-hmm. Nah, I didn't know about that.
And they supposed to be out there. They were supposed to be out there at, at work. It was three commanding officers, and the rest was just regular police officers. They was in the office. Some of them was like on the couch sleep.
Yeah.
They was just sitting there. They wasn't doing shit for 5 hours. While people, and then the people was wondering where the police and why they ain't stopping the loot and shit, and they got their ass chill laid up in the office. And you mean to tell me this why our goddamn tax dollars are going? Please.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
When people start talking about defund the police, it's shit like that call that kind of shit into act. Yeah. Oh, before I go, you know what else I want to say? That they had another report about, it was another guy. Now, don't quote me, because I should have been paying more attention to the story. But it was another guy that died from the same kind of chokehold. But he wasn't, he was Hispanic. The police officer had his knee on his neck. But he had it there for 14 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, so this ain't the first time somebody died from that movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but that didn't make this kind of noise like
why you don't think it made the same kind of impact?
You know what? I've been thinking about that and I just don't know. Because they died the same way at the hands of the police. And he was on the guy neck longer.
And I say, yeah, there's been multiple incidents like that, and I say it's crazy that, again, like I say, it doesn't get the same push. That's what I say, it seems odd, it seems strange, and just the momentum behind this one, again, like I say, you really wonder what's going on. So,
I think that people want to change. I think that's one thing that's different. You can't just have change without there being a willingness to change. And I feel like people are at the point where they want to see a change. Because racism has been going on in this country forever and ever. And now the loss of his life is like the cornerstone of why people want to see change. But it shouldn't take anybody there for change, like especially with race. It shouldn't take that. That change should be. It shouldn't really be a change. It should just be as it is. Racism is wrong. Shit. So, I don't know. It's weird to me. I didn't really think it was gonna go like it did though. I didn't think that it was gonna go. I would say his death went viral. That's what I would say. Because it's like all over the world. It's like protests everywhere. They tore down some slave statue, and I mean it was like the whole world just like got behind the movement. And you know what I don't understand? Like some of them how long I been on here now? I done woke up, I was asleep. Now I got to talk.
You better take your ass back to sleep. We supposed to be going to sleep after this call. I know I am.
I know I am for real. What I was gonna say? Yeah, I think that like some of them NFL players now out there, they just really get on my motherfucking nerves, to be honest with you. Because they could have stood in support of Kaepernick, but y'all motherfuckers, scary motherfuckers, y'all let that white, is he white or black?
Who?
I don't know, whatever he is. Yeah, y'all let that man take all that heat, and then while y'all collecting y'all check, now all of a sudden y'all want to sit up there and act like y'all behind him and shit. Y'all could have been behind him from the beginning.
Well, what if they didn't?
They don't want PD, then get mad because PD isn't responding. Thinking face with rolling eyes, face with mask, face with head bandage, face with thermometer, speaking head, make up your mind, person shrugging, person face palming, face massage.
And pro Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? It's become a trend. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on in.
Yeah, I'm still not trendy.
You are trendy. You got DM merchandise that say Black Lives Matter. Stop your bullshit.
You tell me what that says so I can remove it from the stove. You know, my thing is that's fraud. If y'all getting den merch, if y'all got some den merch that says Black Lives Matter, take that back wherever you got it from and demand your money back because they selling counterfeit den merch. Nah, look the little.
I ain't gonna lie. If you had some, I died. I ain't gonna lie. Anyway,
I won't be jumping on the wave.
I want some den merchandise with the Kente cloth on.
No, I'm working on it right now. It's gonna be hand sewn and everything.
Right, get on it. Get on it. That should be your logo. Your logo.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yeah, but with that Kente cloth thing, they did a little too much. The Black Caucus shouldn't have asked them to do that if they did. That was a little bit weird, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even for me, even though I'm a Democrat, that shit was still weird for me. And I'm like, okay, y'all, I see y'all, but
Yes.
it ain't necessary. It ain't necessary, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I do see y'all. That's all I'm saying. I see.
Yeah, why they want to get out there and help them out, man? They need your.
They must have some. They must be saying some interesting stuff in the chat because I can't see it. So I got my computer on.
You know, so you got to get out there and use your community organizing skills to.
Nah, what they saying? Do I need to answer any questions?
Let me see. I'm skimming through. I don't see any. Without talking, no, I don't see the questions. Other than you being a Democrat, but you know, here's my thing, Chaz. Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about the little Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. That's fucking weird, but all right. Anything else that's on your mind, Ms. Rashid?
Let me think. I think I talked about the corona, how terrible that is. About going back to normal. There is no going back to normal.
So
in my opinion.
This is normal now?
Because the more that people become accustomed to things, the less likely they are to want to go back to things. You won't see people dining in restaurants like they used to. You won't see people, I mean, they will do it, but it won't be at the same level that it was. People have started cooking at home. They have started doing more things, that, don't involve doing too much, social interaction, I would say. So, hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And I don't think, you know what I think? I think they moved too fast trying to open this country back up. That's why you see the spike in cases in Florida. They just did a report on that. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it should have been taken. I mean, I think it's better to do it slow, then you don't have to actually worry about all of that. But people so ready to go back to normal, that's what's going to put this thing up.
Yep. They go. We'll find out real soon.
We already finding out. We already finding out in them cities and states they want to jump up and be so quick to open their state back up. And look, money is not worth your life. And just trying to have these businesses earning revenue and all that stuff, it ain't worth it in the long run. Yeah. And what was y'all talking about the PS5? I didn't quite catch that.
About what was that? I'm sorry.
The PS5.
Oh.
I
was just telling how you said you was gonna sell enough side man sandwiches to give me one on the day it come out.
Oh, that sounds side man. It's tough. It's thrown away.
Oh.
It's stuck in what you call it, in the mail.
Yeah. I know the mail been moving slow. You know, Corona had everything slow. So I feel I'm gonna check the tracking on it and see where it's at.
Before I go, I want to say that I agree with Ms. Bill. The setup that you get now don't look too good.
I see. The feedback that I'm getting has not been positive. So I'll
your picture is too small. Your picture is what attracted people to the den in the beginning. Now you like a little bitty. I gotta put a magnifying glass up there.
Okay.
Like damn, where's Honcho? Where you go? But yeah.
I'll have it fixed for the next stream. I'll have everything back in order.
Yeah, we don't need to see what the people in the chat talking about. Fuck them. I mean, no, not fuck them.
See, look, I was trying to call myself making it convenient, but I guess because I'm looking at it on a different device, I'm not thinking about people on different devices. And so I was trying to call myself making it convenient because I know people get down in the chat and try to keep up with the chat so that way they can see the chat on the screen and kind of be all in one spot.
People really don't need to see what them people in the chat be typing anyway. A lot of them typing some shit. So,
So I'm supposed to suppress the chat people?
Well, yeah, pretty much. Like put a blind over the chat. That's what you should do.
Damn, see what you want me to ostracize y'all, to ban y'all freedom of speech. I see what's going on here.
You put the hammer down. The hammer down. I know they done put the the hang up signs on me now. I don't give a fuck.
Man, okay, I'm gonna talk about something real quick because I just saw it, and then we gonna shut it all down. So I've been seeing Kyrie name trending. I don't think Mr. Prepaid. I don't think I've seen Mr. Prepaid.
Who all in there? Is Miss Bell in there? Anybody in there I know? Miss Grace?
No, none of these people know you. you traded on us and left us, so that you a newbie now. You know what I'm saying? You was OG, triple OG status. Now we gotta jump you back in.
No.
But I saw this thing about Kyrie, right? I didn't know why he was trending, and I know people talking about, he said he didn't want to go to Orlando or whatever. He's not relevant anyway because his team ain't finna win shit. So, and he knows that. He knows what it takes to be a
That's the one that don't like black women, right?
Right, and that's the point that I'm going to get to, right? Because he makes a comment talking about, I don't support going into Orlando. I'm not with the systematic racism and the bullshit. Something smells fishy. But your dumb ass literally threw a party and told motherfuckers no black women. I don't give a fuck what Kyrie Irving has to say. Like, so.
I've been canceled his ass since then.
Yeah, so my thing is
I canceled his ass right after that.
That's terrible.
You know how they always talk about black people canceling people? His ass is canceled.
See, that's why he ain't won no more championships. You cancel him. See, that's why he's struggling right now.
Damn right.
But my thing is my thing is like, how you gonna sit here on one hand and I'm not with systematic racism, but you literally excluded people because of race. You know what I'm saying? Like that was your specific thing. So
because I told you it's trending. It's trending to be anti-racist. So he tried to hop his ugly ass on the train.
Yes.
But nigga, you are denied.
Yes.
Okay? Period.
So,
And I don't even use the N-word, but you denied.
Yeah. So
Canceled.
yeah,
Who even told his ass to speak? Who even gave him an opportunity to speak?
Because they had all their NBA players on the thing. So they go.
What's he on Instagram?
I don't know what it was. I have no idea what it was talking. It's like an NBA call or whatever. And somebody just was kind of reporting some of the commentary from the calls. So and they shared that information. Now,
Irrelevant. Whatever. He can roast it out with his.
It's all good. I mean, you can fool the then folks and tell them that, but I know you got the Kyrie jersey on, right? And I know you sleep in the Kyrie jersey, so you ain't got to fool me.
I told you I can't count. I couldn't believe the audacity of him to say some shit like that after I was cheering for his ugly ass, and then he gonna come out and say some shit like that.
Yeah.
Please.
Shame on Kyrie. He's a terrible person.
He should have fell his ass off that boat into that lake. Yeah.
That's all. That's all. All right. Where's the deal, Miss Rashid? Before I go to sleep on you, I'm going to end the phone call, but I do appreciate, you capping off the end.
What phone call?
This phone call.
What phone call you sent me?
This is what I'm on right now.
You ain't finna end my phone call.
Oh, you're right. I don't got to. I can put you on hold if you want me to just put you on hold. And then I'll wrap
it. Put who on hold?
I'll put you on hold. I'll wrap the den up. And then
you know what? I'm taking audio of all this shit.
You taking audio of
all this shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking audio of this shit. But this don't make no sense. Who do I say I'm grievance with?
I think you gotta follow with YouTube.
Okay. No problem. And make sure you get me all of my pistachios.
Yeah, I got you. I got the list right here.
You know what? I think that you be giving me them pistachios, and then you be taking them back after the den be over.
No, that would never do such a thing. No. Like I said, I know this week I do have to tighten everybody up. I have all the early birds, and so tomorrow I'm just gonna add them up, do it for the whole week, and add all the stuff instead of trying to add each and every one at the beginning of the stream to unnecessary type.
Don't y'all believe that shit. Don't believe that he ain't gonna add up shit. Anyway, everybody y'all I end my own call. Everybody y'all have a wonderful weekend, and stay corona free.
Yes.
And Black Lives Matter, and Joe Biden 2020.
Oh, that's terrible. Good night. You was doing good. You fucked it up at the end.
What you say?
I said you was doing good. You fucked up at the end. But good night, Miss Rashida.
You know what? Don't you edit that out.
I'm gonna leave it there. You're gonna have to own up to your mistakes. I'm gonna leave that there, and then after the election, we're gonna come back and check it out.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see after November. All right. Take care.
All right, Miss Rashida. Good night. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up on that one, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm actually actually longer than that. I'm actually super surprised. We made it 2 hours. I'm fucking tired. But I thank y'all for rocking with your boy tonight. And all of y'all have wonderful people, you know what I'm saying? And I just hope y'all have a good weekend. I've been trying to get this movie night thing. It definitely ain't happening tonight. I'm going to sleep. But maybe sometime in the Discord tomorrow night. I need to check out this Dave Chappelle thing everybody's been talking about, so I'm going to watch that. But maybe sometime this weekend we'll do a little movie night thing if you're in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, get your ass in the fucking Discord. Y'all missing all the great shit in the Discord. I'll probably cut it on and be ear hustling. I might not be as active in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? But this is where we are. So no slave. I don't want to watch no slave. I don't ever watch slave movies. Like honestly, the last slave movie I saw, I ain't gonna lie, I watched fucking The Django. And then probably before that, good luck. I couldn't tell you. I don't fucking You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't watch Slave Movies. It's some weird shit. He didn't like white people cheering for him. That's funny. That's funny because who was that? Faison Love is always saying, like, I lost a lot of respect for that man because he just the way he hates on Dave is ridiculous. Well, Dave, niggas wasn't even really fucking with Dave. Dave wasn't funny. The first season of Chappelle Show wasn't funny. White people was fucking with Dave. Then niggas started fucking with him. Like, what? Dave has always been hilarious. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing. Like, I don't get it. But see, Dave is selective woke. You feel me? Like, even in the whatchamacallit issues he care about, he's definitely woke on those matters. Shit he don't care about, or he's not that not give too much of a fuck. Like that issue he had, whatever was going on in his town, he went down to the fucking city hall and spoke on it. Like, I thought that was cool. Yeah, I agree, Rob. That shit bothers the fuck out of me too. Like, movies where, like, say, if it's a slave movie, I'm not watching it. They ain't got, not liking people. You just wrestle. I get it, but I'm not finna tie myself to this slave narrative like that. That shit ain't romanticizing that bullshit. And then, yeah, like you say, it's a comedy. In every other movie, like I say, yes, I got nothing for the hood movies anymore. But I think they do and they don't. It's not like they ain't making the Bellies and the Boys and the Hoods and the Minister Society. It's not making movies like that no more. It's making a bunch of stupid bullshit. And appreciate the love. Thank you, Miss Just Sarah. And I'm tripping because I had the fucking Honcho, the main Honcho shirt on earlier, and I changed right before I got on the stream. Because I was wearing it while I was out and about today. So people were like, who the fuck is he? So, it is what it is. How far back the ride? I don't know. Black people ain't claiming these rides, so, the black people.
Ladies and Ken, don't forget to order your Honcho, the main Honcho shirts on sale now. Eyes smiling, face sparkling, hard candy.
I have no associations with that shit. Like I said, like I was talking about the looters, the looters too, because there was one video, I don't know if y'all saw one, I think it was in New York. And it's like, almost though, I don't feel bad for the looters who get looted, but the reason I brought that point up earlier was just that if it was about, fighting the system or whatever the fuck is going on, you wouldn't be fighting each other out there for materialistic shit. And so, like I said, but it was the dude, I guess he got an iMac or something. I don't know if he got out of Best Buy or what. And so first he got the bitch. It's a nigga, I guess, just out there recording fucking the looting. And you start following the guy recording, like, oh, yo, he got the iMac. And he, like, why are you doing looting commentary, riot commentary in the first place? And then second, like, what did the fucking dude think he was gonna do walking down the street while the world's gone mad around you, carrying a fucking iMac box? And what do you think happened? He was probably happy for 45 seconds of his life, realized how terrified he was walking down that street, and then two niggas fucking stole his shit. One of them stole off of him, he set that shit down and got pilfered. So trying to defend yourself for this item that you stole, you got stole off on, and the item got stolen from you. That's kind of what you get. But there's a lot of crazy stuff. All right, let me go to bed, man. I fucks with y'all. Like I said, I'll be listening to the Discord. Probably no Mixer Crew tonight. No problem. There's definitely no Mixer Crew tonight. We'll see what's up tomorrow. I hope Mixer Crew some love. So, I'm trying to produce y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Y'all ain't got to go home. Politely inviting y'all to join the Discord. Man, like I say, and anybody I may have missed, so let me make sure. Shout out to Just Sarah, Dan Strong, Real Talk, appreciate the love. But with that being said, I think that's all I have for this evening. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, we will talk about the text. No, I don't want to get the bill over on that. All right, I'll go for real. I'll put the Discord link in the chat within the next minute or so. So if you need a link, check it out. If you're already in there, don't meet me there, beat me there. But Adios.